The main thing that is worrying me is the number one is the crime, and then the employment, and then also the load shedding as well. That is the main challenge that we are facing.
No one is actually making a difference, honestly. So I feel like I'm just speaking to a wall at this point. No one's representing me on my issue.
News for trans youth in Sweden. The country has just passed a law lowering the minimum age to legally change a person's gender from 18 to 16.
In the majority for the people who create those rules and regulations that let criminals out to victimize you, that's on you.
You thought your vote didn't matter, so you stopped engaging. That silence didn't make you irrelevant. It sent a clear message. It skewed the entire political market against you. Your non-vote wasn't a protest. It was permission for the system to ignore your needs. Look at the cost now. Your income might be up, but housing and new cars are 30% more expensive than 5 years ago. Ensuring stability is always one paycheck away. Unemployment lingers, forcing more competition for fewer jobs. This is the price of your quiet. For years of not voting, you've allowed the political market to price you out. This constant economic drain creates hypervigilance, that persistent dread. You see the core problem in the numbers. The voting rate for the highest income families was 86% versus only 48% for the lowest income families in the United States in 2016. This 38% disparity is the market signal telling politicians they only have to serve the rich to keep power. The core failure is not apathy. It is a rational calculation of zero efficacy. Why invest time when the result's always the same? This political entropy is our biggest liability. While you disengage high-partisan special interest groups who are bored and secure in their wealth, vote in policies that only serve to signal their moral superiority. They push programs that reduce your safety and force mass migration without proper integration. These are the people whose boredom allows them to spend the time to vote the rest of us out of existence. Look at the visible, terrifying consequences. In Sweden, the failure to integrate new populations has been tied to significant overrepresentation in assault statistics alongside other increases in crimes. These are negative externalities of political vanity. You have every right to be angry because these failures are not yours. They belong to the system you stopped checking. So what must we do? We must recognize that we are not helpless. It's time to make our engagement their biggest liability. This is not an ask for heroes. It's an ask for strategic spectators. You must stop treating your vote like a lifelong marriage and treat it like a short-term contract.
News from London. A new parliamentary report has sent shockwaves through Westminster tonight. It reveals that the UK Home Office has spent billions housing asylum seekers in hotels, and much of that money may have been wasted through poor planning and chaos. MPs say the department signed bad contracts, allowed private firms to overcharge, and failed to claim back tens of millions owed to taxpayers. What was once a £4.5 billion has now ballooned to more than £15 bill, leaving critics...
No, but why are people not turning out to vote? What must we vote for? These leaders who don't implement recommendations? These leaders who sit on reports? These leaders who manipulate the criminal justice system? These leaders who make me unsafe?
Their key method was to pit local factions against each other. Their priority was to make sure that nobody could unite against their imperial control.
The common people are getting fed up with the lies of the politicians, pointing us to wrong enemies when they are themselves the real thieves.
You are not loyal to the party. You are loyal to the key performance indicator you desperately need fixed. The moment they fail that KPI, they are fired. Here's the low-friction playbook. Step 1, follow and focus, the social media audit. You are already scrolling. Now integrate the enemy's channels into your feed. You must follow every major political party, the Minister of Finance, and your local municipality/city council on one social media channel. Your goal is to observe the narrative dissonance. The moment the messaging changes from serving your needs to serving their comfort, you have identified the strategic inflection point. Step 2, document and tag the targeted flak. We don't need mass riots, we need digital accountability. Your camera phone is now your weapon. Document the visible decay in your neighborhood, the overflowing dumpster, The 10th pothole, the lack of police presence, then immediately tag your local municipality's official social media account. This public shaming forces the local politician to make the costly choice: spend money or leave the evidence of their incompetence publicly exposed. This works. Look at the track record of citizen pushback in 3 countries. First, in South Africa, a proposal to raise the VAT tax was put forward in 2025, and within hours, overwhelming public pushback forced its complete revocation.
On my own, 116 different taxes that we pay. We are the most overly taxed country. We're probably the most overly taxed developing nation in the world. The kinds of taxes that we pay are unjust, are inhumane. They are beyond what apartheid did to us.
Proposed VAT increase in South Africa has been scrapped. The finance minister has announced that the decision to raise VAT from 15% to 15.5%, this decision has been reversed. This is after a lot of pressure from other political parties as well as a massive public outcry. South Africans, this is a massive relief. The prices of goods and services will not be going up. VAT is staying the same, at least for now.
Second, in Nepal, young citizens used a decentralized communication tool like Discord to organize protests and oust highly corrupt officials within days.
Our contribution, but what are we doing? We are bounded by chains of unemployment, seeing a broad source of opportunity. We are trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption and woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures.
Third, in the United States, when a fatal accident was caused by a foreign truck driver who lacked proper licensing, the public outcry demanded immediate government accountability, exposing the systemic failure in enforcement, showing that we can force the system to enforce its own rules. Step 3. Vote like a vendor, the zero loyalty contract. You are not loyal to a party that hasn't served you in years. Treat your vote like a short-term contract. Vote for the party that promises the solution to your most urgent pain point. The moment the winning party betrays that KPI or changes the social contract, you immediately pivot back to step 2. Document and tag. You begin planning their political exit. This is how Rwanda maintains stability through intentional transparency. They publish a public financial roadmap clearly outlining their commitment to accountability. We must demand the same: clear intentions, transparent spending, and a connection between our taxes and the result. We don't need a hero. The truth is clear. The vote doesn't start in a queue waiting to tick a ballot. It starts the moment the party in power is appointed. Your silence was your most expensive policy decision. The cost of inaction is financial erosion and public decay. Your strategic action guarantees an immediate return. South Africa revoked the proposed VAT hike. The youth of Nepal digitally ousted corrupt officials. The choice is simple: accept the consequences of being a passive victim or become the strategic spectator who audits their every move.